Paris. A cigarette, a glass of wine, and us. The rain had been falling since dawn, a thin, relentless drizzle that turned the Seine into liquid silver and made every cobblestone shine like a secret. Alex Harper, 24, stood on the Pont Neuf, her camera fogging from the damp. She'd flown in from New York chasing moments the postcards never showed, the cracked doors, the forgotten alleys, the quiet parts of Paris that lived between breaths. But the sky was flat gray, the light useless. She wiped her lens, muttering under her breath. One good shot, that's all she needed, to justify the flight, the tiny apartment, the lie she'd told her mother about a career opportunity. Across the river, Jordan Ellis, 27, leaned on a narrow balcony, cigarette glowing in her fingers. She'd left New York 3 days earlier, fleeing an art opening where her ex-curator had announced her engagement to a man who painted only in beige. Jordan didn't plan her escape. One suitcase, one borrowed apartment, one half-empty fridge with cheap red wine and forgotten paint tubes. She wore black because it matched the ache behind her ribs, and because in Paris, black was a kind of armor. They collided at dusk, in a rain-slick alley behind the Marquis Saint-Honoré. Alex, chasing the dying light, turned a corner too fast. Jordan's wine glass tipped, scarlet blooming across Alex's white shirt. "Murd," Jordan hissed, then shit. "Saw the—" Alex looked down, then up, meeting storm-gray eyes framed by wet dark hair. "It's fine," she said softly. "I was going to throw it out anyway." "I owe you a shirt," Jordan said, still half laughing. "And a drink." Alex hesitated, but the woman's voice, low and smoke-worn, pulled her in. "Lead the way." The bistro was small, warm, smelling of garlic and rain-soaked wool. Jordan ordered 2 glasses of Côtes du Rhône without asking. The wine was dark and heavy, tasting like courage. "I'm Jordan," she said, exhaling smoke toward the ceiling. "I paint. Badly, lately." "Alex," she replied. "I take pictures. Also badly today." They talked about light and heartbreak, about how Paris in the rain felt like a city holding its breath. Jordan spoke of leaving her ex, of walking until the plane ticket felt like mercy. Alex told her about quitting her job, about her mother's guilt-laced letters, and her fear of never being enough. Outside, the rain thickened. Inside, their knees brushed under the table, accidental, then not. When the bistro closed, they lingered by the door. "I'm this way," Alex said. "I'm that way," Jordan smiled. Neither moved. Jordan's apartment was closer. They climbed narrow stairs in silence, the kind that feels like anticipation. The space was cluttered with canvases, half-finished faces, colors that still looked angry. A single light glowed. Jordan poured more wine into mismatched glasses. Alex set her camera on the windowsill. On the balcony, the city stretched like a photograph waiting to be taken. The Eiffel Tower flickered through the mist. Jordan lit a cigarette, the match flaring between them. She offered it to Alex, who took it, smoke catching in her breath. "I don't usually do this," Alex said quietly. "I don't usually spill wine on people," Jordan replied. "We're even." Their fingers found each other, hesitant then certain. The kiss wasn't gentle. It was alive, tasting of rain, wine, and everything they'd tried not to feel. Alex's back met the cold railing. Jordan's hand slid to her neck. For one long second, the city disappeared. They broke apart only when the cigarette burned down to Jordan's skin. Inside, the air was warm. The rain whispered through the open window. They moved together, slow, uncertain, real. 2 souls unlearning loneliness. Morning came gray and quiet. Jordan burned the coffee. Alex laughed. They drank it black, sitting cross-legged among paintbrushes and film rolls. Outside, the rain had stopped. Paris washed clean again. They spent the week suspended in a dream. Mornings tangled in sheets, afternoons of painting and photos, nights of jazz and wine. Jordan painted Alex by the window. Alex photographed Jordan at her easel. They argued, laughed, kissed, and forgot the world. But time was a cruel thing. Alex's ticket back to New York waited, patient and unforgiving. Their last night came too soon. Back on the balcony, one cigarette, one glass of wine, one kiss that said everything. "Stay," Jordan whispered. "I can't," Alex said, voice trembling. "Not yet. This isn't the end." And it wasn't. A month later, Jordan's paintings caught the eye of a New York gallery. She packed her brushes, her courage, her memories of Paris, and flew. At JFK, Alex waited, camera in hand, heart in her throat. When Jordan appeared, the noise of the terminal vanished. They collided, laughing, crying, kissing like time had circled back to give them one more chance. Now, a small loft in Brooklyn. Jordan paints. Alex shoots. Weekends mean wine on the fire escape. One cigarette passed between them, a city stretched beneath their feet. And sometimes, when the world feels too still, they fly back to Paris. Same balcony. Same view. The kiss still waiting. At night, they sit by the window, the city's heartbeat below. Jordan sketches the skyline. Alex catches her reflection in the glass. There's silence, but not the kind that hurts, the kind that holds. The kind that says, "We made it." And when rain starts to fall again, they let the window stay open, the sound mixing with laughter and quiet promises. Because love, they've learned, doesn't end. It only changes cities, changes skies, keeps breathing through every drop. Paris. A cigarette. A glass of wine. And us. Always us.